Oh yes, beep 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 beep. It's a beeper. Knight Rider. His name is Michael Knight, and he is the Knight Rider. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a great day to be a United States citizen. Unfortunately, it is difficult to find anyone who knows exactly what that means these days. I will tell you this. Welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to another episode of... I can't even remember the name of my own channel. Credentialed free advice in trucking. You know, that is one hell of a sunset. I figured, what the hell? You know, I'm listening to Professor Zhang discuss deeper into how Paul, the architect for the Catholic Church, was clearly a spy. Probably working for the Jewish rabbis to, you know, spy on Jesus. And it's such a, oh man, I never would have got there if it had not been for the professor. I mean, it would have taken me 1,000,000 years to put all these pieces together. But Paul, he was a Hellenic Jew, which means he knows not only the Torah, but the Roman, I guess the Zeus and the, you know, like what do you call that? Greek mythology, Roman. Okay, so, you know, welcome one, welcome all to credentialed free advice, trucking. Paul, he is the architect for the Catholic Church. Much of what Paul believes, Jesus believes also, only it's the complete opposite. And for instance, Jesus says that, you know, the divine spark is within you, and there's no outside source that can access it, and that by doing good deeds, you cultivate this spark. Paul says, no, it's Jesus that saves. And no matter how much good you do, if you do not believe in Jesus, you will burn in hell. And so on and so forth. Very, very, very good. Professor Zhang. Now listen, guys, my eyes have failed me about 2 years ago. Like, I cannot read without glasses very easily. So, when I'm watching YouTube on my phone, you do realize Professor Zhang's name is in pretty small letters, so maybe it's not Professor Zhang, maybe it's something else, and I just am misreading it. I was trying to leave him a comment on his video right now, and my voice to text, of course, was just making up just ridiculous, silly, you know, what were those books that we used to use when we were kids where you just fill in a bunch of silly words and it tells a story? It was kind of like one of those. and I tried to edit it, and it's still, but I just can't see, and I'm driving at the same time. I mean, you realize how stupid that is, that I should even have to look at it. And how long has the phone been listening to me? My phone knows me better than anything else on the planet, and it can't figure out what I'm saying. It's just so awesome. But I guarantee on the backside, like when you go on the back door of what the phone's really doing, I guarantee it doesn't make mistakes like that. It only makes them for us. But the good news is, Mr. Cook, he is a friend of the show. He keeps inviting me over to his house. I will not go, but it seems a little off. But the iPhone 16 Pro Max 264 with the incredible texting features that are so incredible that it can hardly even delete itself if you make a mistake, because it's so good that it hates to remove the words that are wrong in a timely manner when you're trying to text someone something that makes sense. And then again, it's probably using a lot of its processing to save the messages I'm deleting somewhere else on a cloud somewhere, so later on everyone can know exactly what I'm thinking. Or I could write down like a 600 line text message to someone that I'm mad at, damn well knowing I'm not going to send it, and then delete it, but they've still got it somewhere. That's just good to know. Another thing that's good to know is even Candace Owens what am I trying to say? I just don't trust the Catholics either. And I'm not saying that Candace Owens is surrounded by bad Catholics, but I mean, the reality probably is that she's being handled by the Catholic Church right now. Regardless of which, it does not, even if that is entirely true, which it is not, and it's just my opinion or idea, the things that Candace Owens has accomplished, there is no amount of handling by a church that would take anything away from what she has done. She is amazing. She's like my number one go-to. Doesn't matter what else I'm watching or listening to. If her video comes out, I ditch whatever it is I'm doing and I watch it immediately. And if Bridget McCrone's listening, hey, how's it hanging? I got a lot of fans around the world. I'm really big in Antarctica, and so Professor Yang is a G. If you don't know about him, check him out. And of course, Baron Coleman, 5 stars out of 5 stars. He is if Candace Owens just never existed, it would be Baron Coleman all day. And then if it was not Baron Coleman, it would be Coach Collins all day, all night. Now, the Drewski video, oh my God, you guys, come on, man. What a gift it must be to have the ability to take on such different characters as this gentleman can. I mean, just good for him, man. What a great, I imagine he's a really great guy. I would imagine that if you are in Drewski's like friend network, homies, like you grew up together, like you gotta be just like the happiest guys ever, man, because like I just can't imagine the guy ever even doing anything that would remotely make someone upset, you know? Except for like dressing up like Erica Kirk, but I mean, that's just parody. The guy is a good guy. I want to believe it. I'm gonna believe it. All right. He's a good freaking guy. I wish I had the ability to morph into you know, the different characters that he can. And it is just he's so talented. I mean, 1000%. He's like the Jim Carrey. He's like the black Jim Carrey, I guess you could say. But except for he won't end up like Jim Carrey, so he's even better than Jim Carrey. You know, which is a shame in one sense because Jim Carrey certainly was so cool. I don't know what the hell happened to him. I need to watch the what's that? The guy who jumped into the arms of the mob off a bridge or something like that. Oh gosh, Cappy. Well, apparently Cappy does discuss Jim Carrey's plight, but if I was to guess, I would say that the Jim Carrey that was on Jimmy Kimmel with like the tongue, the Illuminati, you know, everything, and then all of a sudden the Jim Carrey at this French film festival, it's like someone came to his house, kind of like Harley Kaepernick, and like dosed him up with some drugs and said, listen, mother effer, your ass is mine. You're gonna get some plastic surgery tonight, bud. That would be my guess. Welcome one, welcome all. This is Credential Free. Credential Free. Credential Free Network. Oh man, I almost like that better. I don't know, it's work in progress. I will tell you that if you think justice is ever going to happen for Charlie, I doubt it, you know. I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer or anything, but I mean, we know what happened pretty much. I mean, there's maybe a couple details that have not come to light yet, maybe a person or two who is still unimplicated, but come on, man. The fact that we live in a world where Schmerica Merck is even allowed to have a bank account at this point. Now, the protesting truckers, their bank accounts disappeared, but you know. And that's what, and this is the stage of life that I'm at, guys, because it's been blatantly obvious the great men of history have always made it clear that the world is not being run. The world is being run by the devil, apparently. He's been given the authority for some reason, and you know, the devil, you know, it's an evil world, and I'm a good person. So, it's not going to be fun sometimes, but it's going to be good. And I just want to say, I was hardly ever alone my whole life. I would become I would try to God, what am I trying to say? It's just odd. Like, I really do enjoy people. I am a believer that people are amazing. But when you have had every single when a systematic removal of everything that allows a relationship to exist is removed by the government, by every possible angle, you just, I don't care to like do this anymore. I'm not gonna try to go hang out with people anymore. Nobody is even close to being on the same page, and it's just like, we all drive our own cars around. We all, watch our own videos. We're all just so compartmentalized that the podcast is the new family. So, but I'm trying to be a better person. Somewhat. I'm thinking about being a better person. And I haven't become one yet that I know of. I will say this, and maybe there's some of you out there that have experienced a similar situation, but I say a lot of curse words every single day. If I drop a piece of paper, that's at least 6 curse words. Anything that happens, curse words thereafter follow. And because words are the building blocks of your world, I really should only expect to see ill-constructed worlds coming my way. And that's another reason why I'm making the effort to do this podcast. I mean, I know it's never going to be that terrific or anything, but the information that comes out of my mouth has value. It may not be pretty, and then my voice does kind of sound like the male version of nails down a chalkboard, but man, I wish I had something like this when I was young to focus my energies in, to learn how to have relationships with people. It's taken me a really long time to realize that these are real people. I mean, aside from all the millions of bots on the other side, and like, if someone like disagrees with me, I can just rip into them. Like, I would never ever do that in person. No way. But online it's like, oh yeah, you scum sucking, and I didn't get it. It didn't seem real to me. It seemed like, yeah, I did that, but it's gone. Yeah, I'm not looking at it anymore, but it's there permanently. And it took me a while to grasp that idea, that concept, and that would have been, if I was to be the last person on earth and I had to and it was just me and like whoever is the hottest girl in the world right now that's like over 18, the hottest woman in the world, I guess I should say. Jesus. I would make sure that my kids knew some things, and that would be one of them. I can't believe, it never occurred to me. But I never had a computer. I never was on the internet by myself really until I was into my 20s. And by then, I had already pretty much established the fact that I do not care about this internet thing. I just wanted to skateboard and be with actual real people, and I could not understand why people would spend so much time and effort when there are flesh and blood people that you could actually be with, So, I don't know, but I was wrong. I mean, had I invested in it then. But the professor said something today that really resonated, and that your words construct your reality. And so perfecting communication really is the foundation of a good life, and a life that has meaning. And I know that I cannot express myself accurately with words because I just don't know that many of them. I probably only know 600 words. I'm not even sure if it's that many, to be honest with you. But I will try to get better. So, was watching Tim Dillon today, and you know, he just did like his normal kind of boring commercial today. I didn't watch the whole episode. It wasn't really, not everything he does is super like attention grabbing for me. Sometimes depends on what I'm doing, and this episode just wasn't really a banger in my, for me. And I'm sure it is. I mean, it is a banger for a lot of people, but just, it's just not exactly the style that I felt like listening to today. But anyway, what I did want to say is that he is a friend of the show, and I actually wanted to tell you, please don't like this episode. Please do not subscribe to my channel. I do not want the headache of fame and fortune. And please don't buy my merch that I haven't created yet. How about a shirt that says, "Not afraid to tell Israel no"? How about a shirt that says, Candace has a pretty good one. I think it says, like, I can't remember. Basically, just don't disagree with Israel because we don't want you to get killed. Okay? Cool. Something like that. Yeah. I do not agree with Israel, and I hope that the world gets rid of this terrible, terrible disease. And it's not just Israel. I mean, it's not the Jews, it's Israel. It's the Israelis. Sorry, it's the Israelis. And it's probably, I don't know, I guess it would be all of the Israelis. They are shitty people. I mean, have you ever, like, just flipped on a video of how the Israelis are treating people and said, wow, I wish someone would treat me like that? That's great. And, holy, hey, ow, wow. And that's why you build cabinets inside of a semi-truck better than this Freightliner. This episode brought to you by Freightliner Cascadia. Don't you just want to be the coolest guy? Don't you just wish that you were driving down the highway, making money in a Cascadia, hitting bumps and things flying and hitting you in the head? It would stand to reason that a semi-truck should have a fairly easy to operate radio and entertainment system, and apparently you would be wrong, because this thing is a monstrosity. Like, you cannot change the channel without at least putting 6 people's lives in jeopardy. You cannot do anything with the radio to connect to your phone. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. And then, even though you have attempted several times to connect it to the Bluetooth, and it's, it worked, but then, you stop somewhere, turn the truck off, and then you start it again, and now you got to start over from the beginning. But if someone calls you, doesn't matter where you're at. You could be like 100 feet away from the truck and you won't be able to hear, or the people won't be able to hear you and you can't hear them because it's always connected somehow. It's crazy. I just don't have anything left to give to that department of life. Like, I don't want to connect to Bluetooth anymore. If it can't do it by itself anymore, I don't care. It is not that important. I can live without the music for 45 minutes. I can live without any of it. How are these vehicle radios that are made from Honda? I had a brand new Honda Civic SI that 2018 I was pretty proud of there for a while. Monstrosity of a radio. I'm telling you, the vehicle was it was beautiful, man. I wish it had more power. I wish it was a little more fun. But, what a rock solid whip, man. That thing was smooth, looked good. Man, that was a sexy car. And I traded it in on this GMC truck. And that thing had some monstrosity tendencies as well. Not quite. The radio, let me tell you, the truck you want to be in and not get out of is the GMC Sierra. That one is, for me, I like the steering wheel. I like the fact the volume button is on the right side with your forefingers behind the horn, I like it is a good truck. My God, I don't know where I'm going. Holy shit, am I gonna die? But the truck had a very, very poor suspension. It's like you can't get it all. You have to build it yourself. Now, the Raptor is the best you're gonna get. It's not gonna be as nice on the inside. It's not gonna be as comfortable as the GMC to be in. It's not gonna be as roomy. Maybe the F-150 Raptor is. I have not been in one of those yet, but the Ranger is definitely not made for, it's not made for, having room to do things. And if I was in charge of the world right now, I'm not certain that we would even have cars and trucks tomorrow because they're really unnecessary. But if we did, I promise you, I vow unto thee, never again shall you have a storage container that is too small to store or stick your hand even in it. The Ranger has these door pockets that you cannot, they're deep, but you can't get your hand in there, so why would you want it deep and skinny? You can't get nothing out of it. It sucks. It makes you hate yourself every time you try to get something. The GMC, bro, plenty of room. Every compartment was appropriately sized. I think that they ran into the issue of, they were just scaling down the size in the Ranger, but they didn't think, like, dude, nobody needs a door pocket that is 1.5 inches wide and 6 inches deep. It doesn't do anything. The glove compartment, it has 2 glove compartments, one on the bottom, one on the top. Neither of them can fit anything. Why did they do that? I do not know. But the suspension makes it worth it. Oh man, if the GMC would put a proper suspension on that sucker, you would really have a winner there, but oh my Lord. But man, how I have traveled across the universe of conversation, and we are only here at, what is that, 25 minutes, 30 minutes? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that today's sponsor is the United States of America Constitution. Did you know that if you are a citizen of the United States of America, that you can do whatever you want, and you can do it as much as you want, and you don't have to pay taxes other than sales tax and state tax, because that's the reason why we left in the first place. One of them, like, it's so funny when you read the Declaration of Independence, like, how people don't recognize that the very country that we were describing breaking away from is the exact country we are in today. And I mean, is it just, are we okay with that? But, unless you live in the District of Columbia, you have no binding legal mandate to pay any federal tax. So please don't pay them, because you see what they do with the money, right? We all did that. We all have been doing that for a long time, and it's time for us to just not be doing that anymore. I don't know how many gallons of blood are on my hands, but I don't want to have that. I don't want to be, I have to avoid that. But I remember being in elementary school, and we would get in class, second grade, and then all of a sudden over the loudspeaker would come the Pledge of Allegiance, and then they would play that song from Lee Greenwood, and I'm proud to be an American when at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, gave that right to me, and proudly stand up. But I'm telling you, I was into it. Because that's what I believed America was. And you know what? I'm glad to report I still do. But I am not living amongst other United States citizens. It does not feel, it does not seem like. I don't live in the United States of America. It doesn't feel like I do. The United States of America lives only in me. But I just want everyone to maximize their joy, study nature. It survived because it's good. So replicate it. Find a way to use what you see in nature to make good things for the rest of us. Like, had we had a proper society where people were getting a proper education with no propaganda, no ulterior motives, I would have been able to do quite a bit more helping, I think. And what am I trying to say? I was looking at the cruise control here on this truck, which is, it is pretty cool that there was a long time, guys, where cruise control was you set it and it didn't matter what got in front of you, that thing was going to stay where it was until you hit the brakes and turned it off. to be able to have a active cruise control is very cool. Granted, the people that engineered it don't know anything about driving, apparently. So that's the problem. There needs to be, there needs to be a sensibility department somewhere that is able to recognize that one person may be very good at creating electronics and, engineering parts and not have a clue what driving even is. So, I guess, because it's never going to freaking change. We're all going to just, for some arbitrary reason, I have adopted this tick that I say just a lot. It's just, that's not okay. I just caught myself doing it, and I realized that I do not want to sound like that. That is not the idea in which I am sharing with you. That is some sort of fumbling, bumbling perversion or mutation of what my message is. You spend a lot of time alone. You don't have anybody to reflect who you are back to you, and you can start to forget to hold yourself accountable for things. And then when you finally do find yourself around people, you are the feral cat of the bunch. It's like, wow. I got some Popeye's chicken just a few hours ago, and man, the two ladies standing in line behind me, I could just hear them making fun of me for whatever reason. And it doesn't feel good. They don't feel like my species. Hey, we're the same species, but you can't even be bothered to say hello or even offer the most minor courtesy. Yet here I am, the scum of the earth, that which every police officer in the world thus wished to handcuff and throw in a hole somewhere just because of the sight of me. Yet every person I ever meet, hi, thank you, yes sir, no sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am, can I help here, open the door for you. I am clearly something is wrong with me because I am too nice. There must be something, there's something off about that guy. He actually is always thinking about other people and putting other people first. Is he doing it because he wants something from you? That's what it is. No, I mean, I do want something from you. I just want you to be you so I can enjoy having someone that's authentic to be around as well. Yes, that is what I want. You're right, I do want that, but that is never going to happen with you. So I just will be alone with my new family here on the Credentialed Free Network. So Tucker Carlson had Professor Yang on the other day, and I wonder if he has been listening to this stuff about Paul and about the church. Because let's face it, folks, the Catholic Church and every other Christian church is based on fake stuff that never happened. some of it happened, but not the way they tell it that it happened. So, can we call it? Can we call it out? I wonder if Tucker's going to call it out. The Roman Catholic Church, engineered by Saul Paul. Saul was the one out persecuting Christians. And then all of a sudden he was blinded by a miracle, and Jesus came to him and spoke, you're going to be my dude now. And all of a sudden this super well-educated Jew, who is also a Roman citizen, and I believe there's only 3 ways that could even be possible, and none of them are going to add to the credibility that Paul was in fact Jesus follower by the authentic soul of the grassrooted movement of his heart. No, he was put up to do it, and he took advantage of his positions in both having the ears of the Roman emperors and high-ups there, and also somehow the rabbis on the Jewish side. And my speculation would be that Paul, so I guess there was a big naked place where everybody went to play football and shit in the middle of the day, and that's where everyone hung out. That's how you build close relationships in Rome. And the Jews, having most of their wiener cut off at birth, it's kind of, I can see it. I'm not saying it was a nice thing for the Romans to do, to make fun of the Jews for having their circumcisions, but you can't hide it. So the Jews never wanted to hang out with the Romans, which continued the divide, and the Romans never, or the Jews were just never going to experience anything other than instability as long as they were in the presence of the Roman authorities, especially like the average Jew. So I think, and I would imagine that Paul himself had some struggle, because I would imagine he wanted to learn from the Romans and wanted to be a part of their social structure, but at the same time completely forbidden to by the Judean the way that they roll. So in combination of his expert attention to the dynamics of politics and social structures, and he was able to take the words of Jesus and flip them around in such a way that the reader does not even know that they are being manipulated into something completely different. And brilliant work. And now the church sits above every other institution. Its value in assets certainly has to be amongst the highest and most precious in the world. And yet Jesus taught relentlessly with no repentance that in order to follow the spark or the divine essence, one must leave everything they own and follow Jesus and recite his words. Does anybody have a copy of the real words that, the real sayings of Jesus that is not much, that is not an easy to find thing? I have not seen any other words that Jesus supposedly said in any other book other than Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, now of which I know they are completely written probably by Paul and his team to set the stage for the next level of Zion building, I suppose. I want you, the listener, to experience yourself such a, why am I just saying words to say them? I hope you guys are able to right now realize that there is exactly as much space in all of the universe as there is inside your body. No, I am not mistaken. The entire universe is precisely the same size as the inside of your body. You can have a mile, you can have an inch, you can have 1,000,000 miles, you can have 1,000,000th of an inch. You never run out either way. There is the exact same amount of space inside of you than anything you can see in the night sky. And because that is true, somewhere inside all of that space, there are your answers. There are your ideas. There are your future accomplishments. There is nothing not available to you. It truly is everywhere. And you are not limited to having to be in a specific location to obtain what it may be that you seek. The only thing that determines your distance away from what it is that you seek would be your understanding of the definition of seek. I wonder if it was Paul who wrote, "Take every thought captive and make it obedient to the truth." Take every thought captive. Lock it up and hold it there. And look at it. What kind of thoughts are you having? Like, before you turn this video on, what were you thinking about? Very handy dandy, throw in your back pocket weapon to keep yourself protected from depression is nothing more than the definition of depression. Self-focus. I don't think the word depression, when you break it down into its, grammatic parts, I don't think that it literally means self-focus. But I want you to consider, what if that is what it means? Have you ever noticed when you're depressed that every word that comes out of your mouth is I don't feel good. I'm tired of this. I'm going this way and he's going that way. Your mind's eye has to be pointed in a direction. And if you stop pointing it, it automatically points back at you. And if you don't recognize that you have a muscle in there that you can flip that eyeball around, then it'll just sit there and look wherever it wants, and you didn't even know that it was yours to control. So take every thought captive. As I realized I was continuing to use the word just interjected in everything I would say to try to fill in the blank, it's like, okay, I don't know the word that needs to be said here because my vocabulary is not strong enough. So I will throw a just in here and a like, just like, really what you're saying is, I don't know what I'm saying. I know what I'm feeling, but I don't feel that that's what it is when the words come out of my mouth. But if you recognize what you're saying inside your head, and if it is one of those things where you just can't stop it and it just keeps beating you down, that muscle is there and you can push it. It feels like it's like the last thing you want to do. It's like, I am not going to put this effort into making my brain do this. But once you do it, it just flips right over almost instantly. If you're depressed right now, that means that you are unable to take your attention off of yourself and your problems and put them on something else that might be more productive at the moment. Is there not another person around you? Have you ever looked closely at the people who are around you and just admired the way that their bodies are constructed? Have you ever looked out the window and seen a bird doing its bird life thing, and you saw it in its free form, the way it'll dive after some prey, or how it twists and turns with the rest of his kind through the air. You can put your mind on that. The problem will be solved through energy and action. But if it is not the precise energy and correct action, it will not be solved. So you can use energy and effort and still get no results. So why then tell yourself things that are not becoming of a life form who has the spark of the Creator inside them shining? Even if it is the smallest little, tiniest little spark, you have to remember that inside that tiny little spark is still the exact same amount of space that is in the entire universe. That spark is all you need. It is the entire universe, and it is the smallest thing ever at the exact same time. Literally, the Creator of all made this, and with what He made arose you, which means you are allowed to be here. You are allowed to think and do as you please, and you are not allowed to do as you please if it is hurting other people. It is righteousness that measures the bar. And none of us are righteous, but there are moments where you make more righteous decisions than you had to. I mean, you can do things the easy way, or you can take a little extra time to do it in a way that I think is more in tune with the reality of existence. And certainly there must be some power available to anyone who truly can abandon themselves to this philosophy in this way of I do not want anybody to go hungry. I do not want anybody to not have a family. But it hurts too much to be in that position. It's so painful to think that there really is no connection to me and anyone else. But it is, though, because we are all walking around and talking around in the same exact space. You may be over there right now, even though I may be over here right now. At some point, these points shall touch. Man, I've been driving a lot, bud. Oh man, it's still recording? Did it ever? Well, let's just hope it recorded this. I'm going to try to... Okay, no, don't like the way that sounds. My intention is to encounter some good artists and maybe do some painting and try to explore expressing myself with visual. Remember, everyone, our water sources are so very important. Please don't litter, and please don't, pour your vehicle oil just on the ground. because it really does have a lasting negative effect on the area, in my opinion. And I love seeing the ingenuity that you guys did just with those 2 chairs. It's pretty cool. All right, enough this. Guys, gals, frogs, snakes, alligators. If there's anything that I can personally do to make your life better, I will do it. But if it's going to cost me money, it might not. So just, I am fucking swerving, bud. So that's what I say. You know, it would be good to be in close proximity with your friends. Don't go moving far away. Get in your own houses. Stay together, guys. Stay together, and that you will have added strength and against your competition. What was a good joke that I heard? Yeah, Trump, man. I know they got you by the balls with whatever this blackmail is, whatever the hell you've been up to your whole life. I'm not judging you. God will. But I do know that you can turn away from this right now, and it will make things better for everyone. Except probably not. I mean, it may not make it better for you, because if you don't have your lucky spoon with you or something, what the hell am I talking about? I was imagining a guy dressed up like as if in Vermont. A guy in Vermont was just in full image of my mind, and he was putting on his boots inside the store. And that's what's up. But a gentleman who had a red Cascadia pickup about the same year as mine pulled up beside me to get fuel, and I just asked him, hey man, how do I change these these water resistant, these humidity collectors, or shut up, David. The point is, don't end up unhappy and alone. And even if you do, you have within you what it takes to formulate the exact life you want. But you must be intentional, and you must not fool yourself. Do not let thyself be deceived. Whatever may be in the road on these railroad tracks, I am going to try not to run them over. If my dog's blanket is still there, that would be great. And if those sheets are still there, that would be great, because I'm going to wash those. Yeah, I'm getting into the weeds of boringness. I haven't even looked to see if anyone's even watched the last video I put up, so. But I will try to drop a link at some point, do a little editing, and I'll get that addressed to you. But I need to go to the DMV on Monday. That's what I must do. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it's unconstitutional to allow a citizen to, well, it's unconstitutional to mandate someone to have registration on their vehicle and they're not allowed to go anywhere. Never in time was there such a prison as there is now with all the roads. You can't just pull over and be like, I live here now. Only if you buy into the system. What am I doing, bro? I don't even know where the hell I'm going, man. I'm fucking tired, guys. I'm trying to get home. So I'm going to try to bring up anything that I thought might be, what do you call it, taboo news. I got to shout out the people that have made my life better. My man Darth, this is not the news. This is not the news. Darth is the light of awesomeness, you know, like, and yet it goes to such dark places that one has been on a sabbatical just watching many of these episodes. I just love his creativity. I love his style and his selection of material is always something that has not been readily viewed or is not publicly known. So, you know, it's the information that's been hidden that he's somehow digging up. You know, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube still, you know, and rightly so. And I didn't even mention the producers and I didn't mention the administrative staff of YouTube today. You know, greet them, wish them a happy day. I would like to do that right now. You guys are making it happen for us, and the power that you have can be used for great good or for great evil, and not many people who are evil are able to understand that they are indeed evil, that what they are doing is serving evil purposes. And I'm not saying by any means, of course I'm not accusing YouTube of being evil, but I will say that there have been some things that YouTube has elected to do that it does seem a little bit antithetic to the spirit of the United States of America. Nowhere in the Constitution do you have the sense that your words can be taken from you, your videos can be restricted from visibility, because it is a fact that the world has been purposely constructed to minimize human interaction and maximize online interaction. And someone who holds the power to hold back words that could be used for great evil. And I suppose a definition is in order. That which is good is that which is everlasting. That which is good is that which serves the purpose in which it was created without failing, without having a failure of that. So, evil always is festering away into the dark, what am I trying to say? Evil will not prevail because evil is not constructed well enough to survive. But that which is good endures because it has been when something's good because it takes the shape, it fills the form, it doesn't leave a mess, and it uses everything, it gives you more. That's good. I'm fucking delirious, guys. Can you tell? I've got 6 hours and 32 more minutes to drive. Tablet turned off. I hope I did not run out of hours. I think I shall pull over at the next rest stop and take a break. I wanted to thank you guys for joining me on today's episode. And there is a outline that I have tentatively in my head of a structure for this time together, and in the future it will be implemented. Today I was just saying things off the top of my head, practicing my words, practicing behaving, and practicing respecting that someone is listening and they may not if everyone could be in the same room together, eat the exact same food, drink the exact same water, read the exact same words, build the exact same projects, or practice the exact same techniques, and discuss the importance of camaraderie and communication, and the fact that the person standing next to you is just as important as you in every scenario. But if someone is wrong, there should be no hesitation in pointing it out, other than just, social I think I got some aliens watching me. You are loved. You are everything. You are everything right now. You have not to become something different, yet you will, and you still will be everything. You have everything it takes within you to construct the world around you in such a way that you have become satisfied with the results. There is no stopping you unless you stop. everything will always put on the facade of, everything will always fight with you and try to dissuade you from your abilities. And if you give an inch to becoming dissuaded or doubting that, because you must remember that it is exactly, precisely the exact same amount of space inside of you as there is outside of you. So therefore, there is nothing outside of you that is not already inside of you. So what then do you seek? And is it not to be found? I don't think going somewhere is going to help. I think staying where you are is what will help. And looking, don't look at the ground as if you cut out the floorboard of your vehicle, your mom's car, and you're just staring at the ground flying by you, and you can't even really make out the individual pieces, of what you're seeing. But stop the car, man. Get out. Just stop moving, and then, just try to let everything come into focus and take your thoughts captive is the first part, which requires an effort that you may not know you have. It requires the movement. Fucking shut up. Sorry, my truck beeps at me every time I go over the white line, and I just cannot stand it. So that sentence I just said about my truck making that noise, I did not take that thought captive before I decided to say the words. I just said them, and there was zero amount of critical thinking involved. That statement very well could somehow cause damage to this world. And I didn't take the effort to think about it before I let it fly out. But if there's some sort of depression you're going through, it will suck the life right out of you, and you will become, you can kill yourself with depression, just by the mere fact of you revolting against your own body and not being happy with who you are is enough to kill a person. And there is not one of you that, if one was to rebel against himself, it would not be the right thing to do, because every single one of you is someone who has the divine spark inside of them and has the ability to accomplish whatever you choose to do. So, are you not achieving what you are, are you not becoming what you want out of life? Now, I can resonate with that sentence. I have not fulfilled my potential in any worthy measurement. I am so far unaccomplished at what I really am inside, that it is sinful. And maybe you too are feeling as if you aren't able to really get the you out that deserves, or maybe you're unable to construct reality around yourself in a way that is glorious as you should, daydream about yourself becoming the best of whatever. But there is no one that can help you, but there is someone who can help you. And the help of that person has a 100% success rate. And that person is you, but you've got to, you have a muscle that you didn't know that you had, and you can flip your mind's eye onto anything else other than you. Doesn't matter if it's a blade of grass or a duck or a sky. And you'll find yourself, when you are depressed, people will try to redirect your attention onto something else, and you will not want to do it. You will become angry that someone is trying to change the subject off of you. And that, my friend, if you can recognize that when it happens, you have nearly defeated the entire sickness right there. And no matter how heavy that muscle feels to move, the moment that you decide to move it, it is as light as a feather. Good night.